You think you've spent the last few years getting to know your dog. But here's what most people don't realize. Your dog has spent every one of those years getting to know you, and they're far better at it than you are. Every breath you take while you sleep, every change in the way you smell when you're stressed, every small shift in your voice that you never noticed you made, your dog has been collecting all of it. Some of this is going to feel a little unsettling, like being seen more clearly than you're used to. But stay with me. By the end of this list, you won't feel watched, you'll feel chosen. And number 9 is the one that stops most people cold. That's the one to wait for. 1. They know you're sad before your face does. Here's what's actually happening. When your mood drops, your body quietly changes its chemistry, shifting levels of cortisol and adrenaline that leak out in your breath and your skin. Your dog, wired for what scientists call emotional contagion, reads those scent signals long before you'd say a single word. That's why you've had evenings where you sat down looking completely fine on the outside, and within seconds, there's a warm head resting on your knee, like they were answering a call you didn't know you'd made. You didn't tell them you were hurting. They smelled it. 2. They've memorized your "I'm leaving" routine. Have you ever noticed how your dog knows you're about to leave before you've even reached the door? Dogs are experts at linking small, repeated cues, the work shoes, that one bag, the second cup of coffee, into a single prediction. To your dog, your morning is a pattern, and they learned the ending a long time ago. That's why the moment you reach for that one jacket, you turn around, and they're already there, already watching, already certain of what comes next. You don't have a dog. You have a very patient analyst who has been studying your departures for years. 3. They can smell how long you've been gone. Your dog doesn't watch the clock. They smell it. Here's what most people don't realize. Your scent fills your home while you're there, then fades through the day at a steady, predictable rate. With a nose tens of thousands of times more sensitive than yours, your dog reads that fading like a slowly emptying hourglass. That's why you come home to a dog who's calm after a quick errand, but completely undone after a long day. They didn't guess how long you were gone. The air told them. To your dog, time isn't something that ticks. It's something that smells like you, growing fainter. 4. They keep a quiet record of how you're treated. Think about that for a second. Animal cognition research has shown something remarkable. In studies on what's called social eavesdropping, dogs watched how strangers behaved toward their owners, and afterward they refused treats from the people who had been rude or unhelpful. Your dog isn't only reading your emotions, they're reading your whole world. That's why there's that one person your dog has never warmed up to, the one who always gets the flat stare and the slow walk away. The same one your gut never fully trusted, either. That isn't your dog being difficult. That's loyalty, keeping score on your behalf. 5. They carry you with them when you're out of sight. You think that when you leave the room, you disappear from your dog's mind. But actually, you keep existing inside it. Dogs have object permanence and a memory for specific moments, which means they hold a mental picture of you, even when you're nowhere in sight. To them, you're not gone. You're simply being kept. That's why you can close a door behind you and still feel them on the other side of it. Not scratching, just waiting, holding the shape of you in their head until you come back. Somewhere in that small head, a picture of you stays lit the whole time you're away. 6. They notice every time you choose the screen over them. This is where most owners get it wrong. They think their dog simply wants something. Here's what's actually happening. When you and your dog look into each other's eyes, both of you release oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds a parent to a child. So when your eyes drop to a phone, that quiet channel between you goes silent, and your dog feels it close. That's why you've looked up from scrolling to find them already looking at you, not asking for a walk, not asking for food, just checking whether you're still in there with them. They're not asking for anything. They're asking if you're still home, even while you're sitting right beside them. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more dog lovers who actually want to understand what their dog is really saying. 7. They can smell sickness in you before you feel it. And here's where it gets even more powerful. Illness changes the chemicals your body releases into the air, and trained dogs have detected cancers, oncoming seizures, and dangerous drops in blood sugar by scent alone, sometimes earlier than medical equipment. Your dog's nose reads your body like a report you can't see. That's why some people describe a strange stretch of days where their dog suddenly wouldn't leave their side, fixed on one spot on their body, long before anyone knew anything was wrong. Your dog can smell trouble coming before your own body sounds the alarm. 8. They know exactly who you love. Here's what most people don't realize. Around the people you love, your posture loosens, your voice softens, and your body chemistry shifts in ways you can't control. Your dog is an expert reader of these signals, so they learn your closest bonds, not from your words, but from your body. That's why your dog lights up for the people you light up for, and stays politely cool toward the ones you only tolerate. They're not guessing at your relationships. They're reading them straight off of you. Your dog never learned your family tree. They learned what your heart does for each person in it. 9. They sync their body to yours while you sleep. This is the one I told you to wait for. Researchers who study the dog-human bond have observed something quietly astonishing. When a dog and their person rest together, their bodies begin to align. Heart rates drift into rhythm. Stress hormones fall in both at the same time. It's a shared calm scientists call co-regulation, and it means your nervous system and your dogs are settling each other down. That's why, on the nights you finally let your breath go and your body slows, you can feel them settle too, their chest rising and falling just behind yours, following you down into sleep. 2 heartbeats in one dark room, slowly agreeing to beat as one. 10. They start waiting for you before you're even close. You think your dog just knows when you're coming home, but actually, 3 of their abilities are firing at once. The fading of your scent marks the time of day. Their ears catch the sound of your specific car or your footsteps far beyond anything you could hear, and a body clock tuned to your routine fills in the rest. That's why your family swears the dog is somehow psychic, sitting at the window minutes before your headlights ever turn onto the street. It looks like magic. It's better than magic. It's a body built entirely around your return. 11. They put themselves between you and danger. Have you ever noticed where your dog chooses to lie down? To your dog, you are the most valuable thing in the room, so they guard you the way they'd guard anything that mattered. They face the door. They settle on the side closest to the way in. They place their body between you and whatever might come through it, and no one ever taught them to. That's why, on a walk, when a stranger drifts too close, you feel your dog slide a step in front of you. Quiet, casual, suddenly very much on duty. You think you're walking your dog. Your dog thinks they're walking you home safely. 12. They react to your mood before you make a sound. Here's what most people don't realize. Long before you speak, your body has already given you away. A held breath, a tightening in your shoulders, a shift in how you move and how you smell. Your dog catches that stream of tiny signals so fast that their response can look like mind reading. That's why, on your hardest days, the ones where you're holding everything together perfectly, your dog is the first one in the house to know, crossing the room to you before you've said a single word. They hear your bad day in the silence before it ever finds a voice. 13. You are the fixed point around which their whole world turns. And this is where it gets even more powerful. Animal cognition research, using a test first designed for human infants, found that dogs treat their owner as a secure base. With you near, they're braver, calmer, more willing to explore. With you gone, the world tilts, and they don't quite know how to stand in it. That's why a happy, confident dog can come apart at an empty doorway, not because they're spoiled, but because the fixed point of their entire world just walked through it. To your dog, you aren't part of the world. You're the thing that holds it still. 14. They learn the exact face that melts you. Let's lighten this up for a moment. That heart-melting puppy eyes look your dog gives you. A 2019 study from the University of Portsmouth found that dogs actually evolved a small muscle that wolves don't have. The one that lifts the inner eyebrow into that soft, slightly worried gaze. And here's what makes it beautiful. It didn't evolve to trick you. It evolved because the dogs that could reach us got reached for. This is simply how your dog learned to talk to you. That's why you've handed over a bite of dinner you swore you wouldn't share, undone by a single lift of an eyebrow. You didn't fall for anything. Your dog just learned the one expression that says everything, and aimed it straight at the person they trust most. 15. To your dog, you are home, not the house. Of everything on this list, this is the one that holds all the others together. A 2015 study, published in the journal Science, found that when a dog and their owner simply gaze into each other's eyes, both of them release oxytocin, the very same hormone that binds a mother to her newborn child. Not a smaller version of it. The same one. What makes this even more meaningful is that decades of research keep arriving at the same conclusion. The bond your dog forms with you runs on the actual machinery of the parent-child bond. That's why, in a house full of rooms, your dog only ever truly rests wherever you are. They know which footsteps on the porch are yours. They know which car door means you're back. They know which one person, out of everyone on earth, makes the world feel safe again. You've spent so long wondering if you were a good enough owner. To your dog, you were never just the owner. You were the reason the whole world made sense. So here's the truth we started with, turned all the way around. You thought you'd spent these years getting to know your dog, but the whole time, they were the ones getting to know you. Every quiet thing you thought no one noticed. The night you cried with the lights off. The morning you almost didn't get up. The thousand small moments you were sure no one saw. They saw all of it. And they stayed. And all that time you've been giving them, the early walks, the slow evenings, the ordinary days you thought were nothing, that was never the price of having a dog. To your dog, that time was the gift. It was everything. So tonight, when you turn off the light and you feel them shift and settle into the curve of you, don't just let them. Notice it. That isn't a pet finding a warm spot. That's the center of someone's entire world choosing, one more time, to fall asleep beside you. You spent so long trying to understand your dog. As it turns out, your dog was the one who understood you.